Right. Is up. There we go. I think we've got audio. We've got audio. Testing, testing. I don't know. Right. Is up. There we go. We have audio now. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, hello, welcome everybody to the Canada Toronto trip. I wanted to share this a long time ago. I was going to share this the other night, but I was having problems with OBS. So I decided to use something different tonight. Well, this morning, should I say? I don't really have long to do this stream as I currently have to go to work, but it will be a very quick stream. I just wanted to share my Toronto, Canada trip with you all, as it was an experience that I will never forget. So if you are new around here, please do hit that subscribe and feel free to ask any questions. Let's get started, shall we? Let's just make sure everything's set, which I believe it is. Yes, everything's all set. Just had problems with the audio for a minute there. But yeah, let's get started. Welcome. Out now. Oh. What's up, bro? We're all good. Oh. Thank you. That's what we want. So, welcome to the Canada Toronto trip. I was going to do this last night, but OBS decided to be absolutely, I don't know, messed about. So, I've gone ahead and done it for a different software. Hopefully, this software should be a lot better. It's not the software I want to really be using, but hey ho, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, this would be when I left. We need to go fast. Okay, this would have been when I left Heathrow, August 2024. I don't know the exact day I went, as it was a while back. and I've been asleep since then. But yeah, so this would have been when I left, which I do remember when I left, which was I believe I caught the 9 o'clock flight, and I landed in Toronto at like 6 p.m. Toronto time, which in the UK that would have been about midnight. Yeah, well, knocking on to around midnight. No, it would have been 8 o'clock Toronto time, Canada. Moving on, so that's taken off from Heathrow, me in the air, and then obviously that's on the I believe that's on the train heading towards Toronto itself. Yeah, obviously that's a bit of the Toronto city through the train window. I enjoyed the ride in that train when I was there. There's a little bit of the Toronto street from the railway on the road to Toronto. There's the Toronto street. I love how the CN Tower reflected in the building in the sun. Look at that reflection, that chat. You see that reflection? I was amazed when I saw that. I really was amazed. Moving on. So there is the CN Tower. And that bit there where my cursor is right now is where I decided to go up, and I decided to walk around the edge of it because I'm insane. I know. I decided to do the edge walk of CN Tower, which is around 315 meters high above Toronto. I think it's like 35 stories high or something like that. So I decided to do it. I did have a video of me doing it, but you know what? Like I lost it, and I'm ashamed because I would have shared it today. But I kind of lost it, and I can't get it back. But I've got pictures of it. I've got picture proof, so that's all I need. So obviously that you can see that's from the top of the bottom of the CN Tower. And there's the bird, which is probably about sky high. And look how high the actual dome is. Even thinking about looking at this right now, I'm like, this is crazy. Actually, I did this. Went up one of the highest towers in the world. I actually did it when I went to Toronto. There you go. You can see that's obviously not me up there at the time, but you can see other people there on the glass, um, like like a metal frame that's up there, which is like the second highest point of the tower. Obviously, the tip of the tower is the top of the tower. I did go up there. I believe I've got photos of up there while I'm up there, which is also good to see. So this would be from the top of the CN, well, the viewing point of the CN Tower, which isn't as high as the Edgewalk. I think this probably like sort of halfway up the tower, the viewing point, and then the Edgewalk is like above the viewing point, maybe a little bit higher. So of course that's part of the Toronto like city, and then obviously that's the Lake Ontario. I believe that's Lake Ontario, as I remember. There's my the mill and a CN Tower lager that I had when I was up at the tower, which was which was absolutely delicious. Some nachos and cheese and peppers and all sorts. Oh, it was gorgeous. I can taste it right now, chat. Taste it right now. It was good food. And there's another picture from top of the islands there. Of course, that's don't think that's the actual Toronto airport, but that's a private airport of the city of Toronto there. This is still up at the CN Tower, another great photo of mine that I took of the city center in Toronto from the CN Tower. As another random photo I decided to take. Actually, perfect photo because a plane is landing, almost landing. Jaron, welcome in, sir. Good morning to you. How are you this morning? Just showing the Toronto trip. OBS decided not to work, so I've gone ahead and used StreamYard instead. Hopefully everything's working fine, which I believe so. So a perfect photo of landing plane from the CN Tower there. Great photo from CH. Now this is the experience I want to share, right? The edge walk. Okay, the rules and conditions and what you're gonna do if you're gonna experience. Can I oh great. Can I zoom in? So yeah, I can zoom in. There we go. So there is the rules. Oh, too much. Rules and conditions. You can't be on whatever drug or what. Yeah, you have to sign your life away to go up the CN Tower, like proof that you was you wasn't underweight, you didn't have any like heart, you don't have any like I know like what's the word like health problems or anything like that. You had to really like sign lots of paperwork just to like whatever happens, you're risking your life right now to go up this tower. But we will make sure you are safe and we'll make sure you get down safely enough. And if you need to leave at any point, then we'll make sure you are extremely down. So, and of course, that side in Canadian French. If you didn't know, like that's obviously that's Canadian French, and of course that's British, well English Canadian. But yeah, so there's the rules of it. I'm not gonna sit there and read it because it's just gonna take forever. But yeah, crazy, scary stuff. And then there's just some drinks, branded drinks at a pub. Why not? Now this was my favorite part of the holiday. One of my favorites. You had to sign off now. Yep, I had to sign my life away to go up this tower, basically just to prove, you know, yeah, basically just to prove like, am I actually fit to do this? And if so, then they wouldn't allow me to go up there. And obviously they would have given me my money back. But yeah, I had to sign paperwork. But yeah, I absolutely love that. I think it was like I can't remember what flavors it was, but Oreos and some stuff. Oh, it was absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love that. You don't really get like ice cream parlors over in the UK, so when I experienced that, it was like wow, it was great because you got to see them make the ice cream in front of you. It was brilliant. There is the express train that runs all the way through into Toronto city center. When I saw that train, I was like, wow, because trains in the UK are very, very basic. And a large train like that, I thought, and it's like a 3 stories train as well. It's like, wow, the best, the best ever. But yeah, that's I did have a video of it coming, but I misplaced it. Did you go to Saintstown? Yeah, I did. I don't know. I've lost. I don't have the photos. I think my auntie and uncle have the photos, but I haven't. They've seemed to misplace them. So, but there's a pub that I went to, which was Big Rock Brewery, which is what I believe. I'm not sure if it still exists because I think they went bankrupt. I'm not too sure. But that was a pub that I went to, which was probably one of my favorites. a pizza slice from what's from a supermarket that I went to. How are you enjoying the day? I've only just woke up, to be honest, and I thought, yeah, I've only just not long woke. I woke up about an hour ago. I've got to go to work soon. Yeah, that was from a supermarket. What Target? I think it was from Target or yeah, one of the two, or Target or something. So now this is on the Toronto Islands, uh across the water of Lake Ontario, and of course you can see the CN Tower and Toronto in the distance there. I love pizza. Yeah, I love pizza too. That was I think I got it from a supermarket. Yeah, uh, because you can see the CN Tower. That would be me crossing the lake, Lake Ontario, go to the Lake Ontario Islands. So that would have been still on the boat, just random picture of the Lake Ontario, and lovely, lovely day in August of 2024. Another photo, and of course you can see Toronto in the distance there from the Toronto Islands. That would have been either going to the Toronto Islands or coming back. There's Oakville, which is not far away from where Saint lives, as he tells me, about an hour away, which was where my auntie and uncle currently are, and that's where I stayed. Of course, this is still Lake Ontario. Did you jump in the water? That was cold. Nah, I didn't jump in the water. No, I wasn't. I'm not that brave. Galaxy, no chance. I'm not jumping in in a in the lake. Not a chance. Okay, a random interesting bridge I found. Like that looks quite interesting from the car view. Okay, so that's the Niagara Tower. I didn't go up that, which I wanted to, but it was just way too expensive, and I was practically running out of money at that point. So that's the Niagara Falls, the Canadian side. Of course, look at that Niagara Falls. How beautiful and clean that water is. Another great photo of mine. All this was taken by myself. So all these photos were taken by myself. So I'm pretty pleased with all these photos. Majority of them were like all these ones that you've seen already were taken by myself. Then we've got this one. We got another same, and there's a selfie of myself standing in front of the falls there. Obviously, you can't really see the falls of how of a sort of a day it is. It's on the same sort of similar day, but there's the beautiful myself there, CH, you know, posing in front of the. Did you drive around? Yeah, yeah. I stayed with my auntie and uncle while I was there, and I they sort of traveled me around. Nice selfie, looks great. There's another great selfie. Obviously you can actually see the falls in this one, which is also great. Then that's another posing selfie of myself there. That might actually be of a zoomed in version. Another bit of the falls there you can see currently. This obviously was on a different day. I went to Niagara so many times just because I wanted to see Niagara on different sort of days. So I went when it was cloudy. I went when it was dark. I went when it was a nice sunny day. Yeah, I went like 3 or 4 times to. So I believe this is a little bit further on to the Niagara, which was the Niagara Falls Walk. There's the Rainbow Bridge, which leads to the Buffalo border of Toronto, of Niagara. Sorry, I said Toronto, Niagara. So that's the bridge that takes you over to America, which is the Buffalo, which I believe Galaxy said he knows Buffalo. Look at that. That now when the mist, I loved it when the mist just came up like that. What on a certain day. That's a great photo. Dark sounds cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Hopefully I got pictures of it in the dark. Hopefully I have. I know I had. I'm not sure if I've added them to this album though. You can see it's not the greatest of greatest of days here. Of course, it's very cloudy. But you can see the two Niagara boats on the Niagara River here. There's another posable picture of myself there. There is another one there. Another great selfie in front of the falls. I believe this is still the Canadian Falls. And then you can also see the like the Niagara boat, which I did go on, which hopefully I have pictures of being on there. Wait, what? You look angry there. I might, maybe, I don't know. I think it's because there are so many people around. That's probably why. Now, this was one of my favorite experiences because I went inside the falls. Like, so I experienced inside the tunnels of the hood. So that sort of this here is actually like the lights that will let from the tunnel. And you can actually see that when you're looking at the Niagara Falls if you are quite sort of close. But I went inside the falls, which was really, really awesome. I can't really video in there. I was going to try and get a video and footage of there, but yeah, it was very difficult. More just posable pictures. That's sort of when it was built. I don't know why I took that picture, but it's just a random photo I decided to take, you know. Anyway, moving on. Now this is Niagara at night. As you can see, I'm a little bit high from the falls here, and you can see how light and bright it is. Like all sorts of different colors. Lots of fireworks go off on the weekends, which I don't know if anybody knew. But there is Niagara, actually, like the falls lit up. It's like a spotlight on top of it. It's enough, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see the whole water of Niagara lit up. There you go. This would have been when I came out of the tunnels, and that light there, I can zoom in. That light there is where I was standing just now. So that's where I was just standing. CT, welcoming, bro. Thanks for joining. Just sharing my my Toronto trip to my Canada Toronto trip. When I went in August 2024. So there's another reflection. Obviously, I think it was on a different day when I went to the city center. Oh, look at that CN Tower shining in the sunshine on that glass building. Another sort of zoomed in picture of the CN Tower here. I'm not sure where this picture was taken. I'm guessing it was on the train going into the city center. Maybe it wasn't. No, maybe this was on the boat coming back from the Toronto Islands. Yes, because it looks like I'm on the water here. Because of course there's the CN Tower. There's some of the Toronto buildings. Yes, this would have been on the Niagara. Not the what's whatever. Toronto, like island boat going to the Toronto Islands. But again, it's not the greatest of days here. When I did this, it wasn't. I think it was forecast rain at that day when we went here. I think it did rain a few times, so it wasn't the most sunniest days. But again, photos of me again. Just amazing. Opinion like CN Tower. Just look how high it is compared to all these buildings here, though. Of a great. There you go. There's that would have been me standing on the Toronto Islands. Yeah, great city. It really was. I enjoyed it. That would have been me from on the Toronto Islands there, and of course you can see the CN Tower, and there is the Toronto Blue Jays baseball ground, which is opposite the CN Tower. There's another picture. There you go. That would be me from the islands. Of course, there's a boat, there's a ferry, and then you can see part of Toronto there. There you go. There's a zoomed in picture of the baseball ground there, and there's the CN Tower just gliding up, and of course, there is where I stood and walked around the whole of the tower, and I was up there for about 2 hours, standing up there. Best experience I ever did. Okay, what's this random picture? A random picture of a Canadian duck in the water. I have no idea why. And again, you can another posable of the CN Tower there, chat. You can tell I love this tower. Some random picture there. Sorry about the dog next door. Yappy thing. Okay, so this obviously was the Toronto Islands, which would obviously there's a beach on this island. And me and my auntie decided to cycle the island because we didn't want to walk the whole island, so we hired a trike buggy thing. So we we decided to cycle the whole lot, which was better than walking because it was a lot of walking, and we wanted to do a lot more things in that day, so we decided to hire this. Didn't go very fast, but you know, and there's me posing in front of it with my my smart sunglasses. They're still own. A random boat on the on Lake Ontario. I'm not sure where this was taken, but we all not too sure. And still, again, we are on the Toronto Islands here. Obviously, another sort of a bit a different sort of area of from Toronto Islands. Here is a fire station, which is on the Toronto Islands, which I don't think is really an active fire station. I think it's just a replica of a one that's on the main island, because I don't know how they will be able to get off the main island, off this island, if there was a fire. I think it's just a replica of, but anyway, there's me sat in the car. Actually, this was taken by my auntie here. As you can see, I'm sat there, so this photo wasn't actually taken by me. Look at me just sat there, just chilly in the buggy there in front of the fire station. And that was a quite interesting looking clock. I like it. What, there's a head. I don't know if that's like a brain, a tower, another head, a star, a bird, bricks, fire, a Canada, and a house. Like, it is. I don't know what is that symbol? Well, what is it? Like, does that represent something, or is it just a random? Surely that represents something in a history, right? It's gotta be. Or is it just some random clock? Anyway, moving on. anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask them. I am willing to slow down if you want me to. Toronto Fire Station. Obviously, this is just a zoomed in picture. A nice looking bird here. I don't know what bird it was, but I found it very interesting looking. Still on the Great Shoal of the Sea. Yeah. That's a great picture. I managed to get a seagull. Just the same bird. Another one of my favorite meals that I had decided to have while I was there, which is mussels. I can't remember what I had with it, but I remember eating the mussels, which is, I do love seafood. Oh, there you go. There's a little bit of a table there. A Coke with some vodka. I think there's a beer there. But yeah. And here we go. I believe this was obviously I had that meal for like lunch, I believe, and then I went up the CN Tower in the evening, which with the time I went up the Toronto Tower, this is when I did the edge walk. Now this is the experience I loved. I kind of regret doing just because how scary it was. But it was a lifetime experience that I would love to do again. Just because of how fun it was. But it was scary when I was doing it. But now I look back on it, it was like the best thing I ever did. So here we go. Me posing in front of the sign here, pretty much getting ready to go up there. This is would be me before I signed all the safety guardings and paperwork before I had to go up there. And of course, this was taken by my auntie here. Of course, she was on the viewing platform of the CN Tower when I was up there. And of course, this is live footage of people on the edge walk. So obviously, she recorded and took photos of this. And of course, you can see it getting dark in certain towers of Toronto. And I did the edge walk when it was dark. So it was even more of an experience, which was 8 o'clock Toronto time, which would have been about 1 in the morning here in the UK. So for me, when I'm awake at like 1 in the morning, it's only like 8 o'clock for over there for you. So I'm wide awake at that sort of time anyway. So there you go. There's me. I did it with a family that was, I think they were celebrating a birthday. So there's me standing, holding tear of my life right now, holding on to the on the rope. Even though there's one at the back here holding you, and then which one moved you, and the one was like keeping you safe. So you were safe enough up there. There was no way of falling, even if you leaned over the edge of the tower there. You was just no way of falling. Nigel, welcoming. I'm glad you made it, sir. Welcome, welcome. Just sharing my Canada experience with you all. So here, the instructor would be like leaning off the tower right here. This is the family I was doing it with. And look, like obviously this is taken by my auntie from the live footage. So that's why you can see my back to the camera there. But I was the first one to go out as well. So because the instructor said, who's the terrified person to do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm terrified. Because I was literally, I wanted to do it, but I was terrified of doing it, if that makes sense, because I wanted to do it for the experience and I just wanted to do it, but I was terrified. And I was terrified. Even looking back right now, I am still terrified that I did it, but I'm glad I did it, and I definitely want to do it again. And there we go. That would have been after the edge walk, after I experienced the edge walk there, which would be in the there's the Toronto Blue Jays baseball ground from the highest point of the CN Tower. Look how all bright and light that thing is lit up in Toronto there. And there you go. There's the Walleye walks around on the tower there. And of course, there you can see the baseball ground and you can see the edge walk. So that platform is Walleye walks around. Oh my! I never do it. Not a chance. Well, what is it? It's 315 meters high, which is about 36 stories high. So that's about 36 buildings high. Yeah, really high. One of the highest buildings in Toronto and in the world, shall I say. So this is obviously right at the top of the tip of the tower, which is not far away from the edge walk, as you can see. But look how nice and bright this is. This would have been around sort of 10 a.m. 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. In Toronto time. Another of my meals that I had. This would have been I don't know, on some random day, but those are like the most awesome burger I had. Of course, like I've got another pint of Canadian lager there. Absolutely love that stuff when I was over there. There's the Toronto FC, which currently when I was went there, it was short because of being the off season because I went in August. And of course, American League doesn't play in the summer. And I think there was a festival on or something, but it was really expensive to walk around, and it was very like basic. Just some zoomed in pictures. Now this would have been leaving Toronto at some point in the holiday. Of course, this would have been me waiting for the train to get back to Oakville. And of course, there you can see the CN Tower, and you can see all the buildings. Look how, like I said before, look how high the CN Tower just leads. And of course, where my cursor is now is the edge walk, and then there's the viewing point, and then that is where I was stood taking photos of the edge walk, obviously looking down. So that was even higher. And my auntie didn't want to do the edge walk, but I said, "Ro, you got to go up to the top of the tower with me just to experiment." And she was terrified. Welcome, bro. Glad you made it in this stream, bro. Good to see you. Right, so I don't have jumped way too far. So another CN Tower picture. I want to pause you. So it looks like we're moving on from the city center right now. We're going back to Niagara. So this would have been further up the Niagara Falls. Of course, this is past the Rainbow Bridge. There's the US border, which would be this sort of side of the Niagara, I believe. That's a random building that was on the Canadian side. That looks like some sort of Japanese sort of, I don't know, but it was an interesting looking building. I had to take a photo. Now I can't remember what this sort of area of the Niagara was, but this lift took you across there, which was quite fun. Will you be going to the World Cup 2026? No, bro. I will not. I cannot afford to go to US. I can't even. No, bro. I'll be watching some of the games, but I won't be going. I won't be experiencing it, bro. No way. I can't afford that. I can't afford like a $25 ticket, which in pounds that's like 50 quid. Chicken King, welcome in, bro. Thanks for joining. So that's the Niagara Falls like railway. Of course, this is going up to I'm not sure where I was going, but this is away from actual Niagara Falls, but going up to the actual like somewhere in Niagara. I think this was from a chairlift or something I was going on. Yeah, so like you can see, there's that's US there. Of course, that's the Canadian border. There we go. Oh, there you go. You can see the one going up here, like an escalator sort of lift thing. Just random furloughs. Well, CH posted video. I'll check it out, bro. I'll check it out. I'm gonna be a little quick here because I'm kind of running out of time. I gotta go work. So here, like that's sort of the Niagara building. You can like walk the tunnels and stuff, which I experienced as I shown. But of course, there's US there. I believe that's US. Maybe could be. Maybe I can't remember. A very like sort of to me that looks very old school looking. But I don't know. I'm 21 years old, so how would I know? But I kind of like the look of that fire engine when I saw it. I was like, wow, that looks really cool. No idea why, but random picture of a fire engine. Don't ask me why. Another delicious meal that I chose to have while I was over there. Probably one of my favorites. I decided to have. Yeah, that was like one of my favorites with bacon. I think there's crispy. I think there's crispy onions as onion rings on in the burger as well, which is even more nicer. Here we go. We're back at Niagara. Of course, this would be me waiting to go on the Niagara Falls boat here. As you can see, there's lots and lots of people on there. Of course, this goes right into as further as it can go into the falls, which you got absolutely soaked. So this is actually dated. This photo here. So it was the 26th of the 8th, 2024 at 3:35 Toronto, Canada, Toronto time. So yeah, there we go. It tells you the time there. Of course, this one's dated as well. So this would be in sort of time, same sort of day, same sort of time. And again, this obviously all on the same day. I didn't realize it was all on the same day. Of course, this is further on in the day, a little bit later. And then you can also see the temperature as well. And it even tells you where it is. It tells you the date I was there. As you can see the sort of rainbow for reflection. It must have been a really nice day at this certain time of the day. There is the Niagara Falls, United States Falls. If you guys didn't know, that's the United States Falls. Of course, that's the Niagara River. I don't know where I am. I might be on the boat at this time. Yeah, I feel like I'm on the boat. Yes. So this would have been me going inside the falls right now. Of course, you can see how foggy it is. You can see, look how thick fog that is. Of course, this is me going inside, as you can see there. Going past the falls, but look how brilliant of a day it is. Even that rainbow, look, you can see how sunny it is from that rainbow there. A great picture of the rainbow, and of course you can see the rainbow bridge there. which obviously leads to the US side, which is Buffalo. You can see it a little bit better here. Look, you can see the rainbow there, just off the Rainbow Bridge. And there's a selfie of me on the boat there, looking like this would have been after coming out of the falls, and look how wet I am from all the mist. Yes, soaked. He was absolutely soaked. So be prepared if you're going on this. And I would have been on the boat as well. Look how my hair, look at the wet of my hair due to the mist of the falls, and that's because of the mist of the falls. No other reason. Okay, so this would have been a little bit. Of course, there's the tunnels where I showed you everyone before. Of course, that's a little bit higher, which is obviously that whole walk goes inside the actual falls there, which I did experience. I showed you previously. If you missed it, go back and watch it. So of course there's the boat, like I've just shown you. There's another build. Obviously, this is just a higher point of it where I currently was. There's just another picture of the falls there. I don't know why I take a picture of a Coca-Cola truck, but don't get that in the UK. So seeing that was the best thing ever to me from the car. I was like, I don't see a Coca-Cola truck in the UK. I was like, yeah, I had to take a photo of it. Don't get to see it. That we don't have them in the UK. Big Coca-Cola trucks don't drive in the UK. It's obviously only America and Canada. There you go. I was so excited to see this Coca-Cola truck. I had to take photos. Another picture of the US falls. And there we go. There is me leaning over the CN Tower, looking over the city with my arms out, like leaning off the edge, like I just don't care. And I'm living life on the edge of Toronto, Canada. Oh, what have I done here? Oh, no, I'm now trying to print. I don't want to do that. Sorry. Okay. So I believe that is end of the yes. That is it. That is it for the stream, everyone. I appreciate you all for stopping by. Wicked shot. Yeah, that was taken by the actual Toronto people, like the actual CN Tower people. I can't go back to the. I'm going to have to go through the whole slideshow again, which I'm not doing. Anyway, that will be it for today. I appreciate you all for stopping by. Being a great experience. And I will probably be on a live later on today. So peace to you all, and I'll see you all in the next one inside the CH Kingdom. Yes, appreciate you all. Have a great day, whatever time it is for you all. And I'll see you all either in your own streams or either here back in the CH Kingdom. Peace.